Desjuan Jones.
All right, thank you. Looks like you have a case in city court for 1 count of assault and shoplifting. I am going to enter pleas of not guilty. Looks like you also have another case in city court for reckless burning from March 4th. On your newest charges, sir, I need to let you know that you do have a constitutional right to remain silent, to appear at all future hearing dates. You're in custody right now. It looks like on some other charges. If you were to get out of custody for the city court case, I'm going to set your next hearing date for April 23rd at 9 a.m. You must appear if you're out of custody. If you're still in custody, I'm going to let the court know that, the city court know that you're in custody on that other matter. But if you're out of custody on both cases, you must appear for your future hearing dates. If you do not, a warrant could issue for your arrest in this case, and a new charge of failing to appear in court will be added to your case. You do have a right to appear for all future hearing dates. Let's say you set a trial in this case and you were found guilty, but you weren't present for your trial. If you don't appear for your sentencing within 90 days, you will forever waive your right to appeal your case to a higher court. So the important thing, Mr. Jones, is make sure you're going to get a copy of today's minute entry, setting your next court date for April 23rd at 9 a.m. in city court. If you're still in custody, city court will know that. If you're out of custody, you must make your hearing dates. And don't go back to 5151 East Speedway. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you're excused. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, see something close to the dick like that.
Okay.
Your Honor, this is a joke.
Yes.
I would just like to let you know that Mr. Mendoza Grajeda was going to be a refusal.
He's what?
He refused.
Okay. I'll continue to tomorrow morning. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Good evening, Your Honor.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening, Judge.
Hi, good evening. How are you?
I'm good, Judge. How are you?
Good.
Your Honor, can I come right back when you finish, while you finish misdemeanors?
Yes.
Yes.
But we also have a felony case coming up 2 files away.
Oh, that's right, Judge. I think I'll stick with that.
Okay. What is your full name, please?
Vanessa Velasquez.
All right, Ms. Velasquez, it looks like you have a case out of Justice Court. It was for a shoplifting warrant for your arrest from August 2nd of 2023. I'm going to quash the warrant. I'm going to release you. It looks like you're being held on another matter. Your next court date for this misdemeanor case is going to be in Justice Court, April 3rd, 2025 at 8:30 a.m. You'll get a copy of your paperwork. Thank you. You're excused.
I'm being held by something else.
On a felony case, it looks like you have a bond on you.
But you're released on the misdemeanor, so you gotta go to court, you know.
What court is being held?
Winter.
They brought that from you guys. He's starting.
Oh, okay.
He's on his way.
Okay. Thank you.
Don't know how long.
Okay, nice.
What is your name at the Pima County Jail?
Ma'am,
What is
What's
your
your name, ma'am?
Yamaya L.
What's your last name?
L-E-L.
Jail, she was booked in as a no name.
No, she's open as Diana Gray. Yamaya L is my legal name. For some odd reason, they refused to put it on the record.
All right, your other name is Dana Gray, is that correct?
No, my legal name is Yamaya L.
All right, do you also go by the alias of Dana Gray?
No, it's not an alias. They keep calling me that. My name is Yamaya L. I've been telling them that since I've been in this jail.
All right, so it looks like you were charged with promoting or possessing a prison contraband. I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty. I need to let you know that you have a constitutional right to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney. You do have an attorney who is seated next to you representing you for this evening's hearing. I'm going to hear first from the prosecutor's office regarding their bond recommendation, and then I will hear from your attorney. Mr. Poston?
It's Poston, Your Honor. Thank
Poston,
you.
thank you.
Your Honor, this individual is a 4 and a 3. She allegedly fashioned an offensive weapon from 2 bars of soap and a sock, and with the intent of assaulting a victim in the shower. And the COs apparently caught her before she got to the shower, and the item was then confiscated. But apparently, defendant decided to go back and assault the victim nonetheless. So I have every reason, the state has every reason to believe there's going to be additional charges coming. That said, Your Honor, it would appear she's a fugitive from justice on a $500,000 bond for murder out of San Diego County, California. On this charge alone, state recommends a $5,000 bond, and she's being held without bond on a separate case as well.
Defense counsel, any objection to the bond amount?
No, Judge. She's being held on a $500,000 bond. We just asked that you appoint the LD's office because I think they will take over the expedition matter. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Gray, your bond set at $5,000. Legal defender's office is appointed as counsel. No contact with the victim. Possess no firearms or weapons. Preliminary hearing is set April 3rd, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. Your attorney will be in touch with you soon. Thank you.
Your Honor, I'll be right back.
All right.
If that's okay. Thank you.
What is your full name, sir? Jail, if you could unmute.
Francisco Marin Cano.
All right, Mr. Cano, it looks like you had a warrant for your arrest that the jail found. It was for domestic violence, criminal damage, domestic violence, disorderly conduct from July 28th of 2024. I'm going to quash the warrant. I am going to release you on this misdemeanor case only. It looks like you're being held on a felony matter. Your next court date on your misdemeanor case is April 3rd at 10:30 a.m. And I'll let Justice Court know that you're currently in custody on a felony matter. You are excused. Thank you.
Right out. Yeah.
What is your full name, please?
Duran Clayton Jr. Turner.
All right. Duran Turner, you are charged with 1 count of domestic violence, disorderly conduct. I'm going to enter plea of not guilty. I am going to release you, but you are not allowed to commit any further acts of domestic violence. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Hold on a second. You got to get along with your mom. Don't commit any further acts of domestic violence. I'll release you. Your next court date is going to be in Justice Court, April 3rd, 2025 at 10:30 a.m. You must appear. If you do not, a warrant will issue for your arrest. Just need to let you know that you do have a constitutional right to remain silent. If you don't appear in court, a warrant could issue for your arrest. You have a right to appear for all future hearing dates, and just make sure you're attending your hearing dates. You're excused. Thank you.
Thank you.
What is your full name, please?
David James Craig.
All right, Mr. Craig, you have new charges of domestic violence, endangerment, domestic violence assault, domestic violence disorderly conduct. I am going to enter pleas of not guilty. Mr. Craig, I'm going to set your bond at $2,000. It looks like you already have a pending felony case involving a disorderly conduct charge. You're not allowed to have any contact with Jennifer Craig. Do not call her. Do not write her. If you post a bond, you cannot go to where she lives. Stay away from her, sir. Your next hearing date is going to be April 2nd, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. The City Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. Your attorney will be in touch with you soon. Thank you.
Seen this on YouTube.
What is your full name, please?
Wyatt Mincher. Wyatt Alexander Mincher.
Okay. You had a warrant, some warrants for your arrest at the jail found. One case was a resisting arrest, false reporting to law enforcement, and drug paraphernalia. That case is from August 3rd of 2022. And then you had a separate case that was in warrant for criminal trespass and criminal damage. And that case was from October 12th of 2022. I'm going to quash those warrants. I'm going to release you. Looks like you're being held on a Department of Corrections hold. City Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you, so they'll help you try to resolve your case. May 16th, 2025 at 9 a.m. is your next hearing date. But your attorney will be in touch with you and hopefully try to get your case resolved, even though you're headed to DOC. All right, you're excited. Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you.
You
What is your full name, please?
Isaiah Levon Dagnino.
What is your middle name?
Levon, Levon.
You are charged with 1 count of domestic violence assault, 1 count of domestic violence disorderly conduct. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty. I will release you, sir. Do not commit any further acts of domestic violence. I need to let you know you've got to make sure you appear in court, in city court, April 22nd, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. I need to let you know that you do have a constitutional right to remain silent, to be, you could hire your own counsel in your case. You must appear for all future hearing dates. If you do not appear, 2 things could happen. 1, a warrant could issue for your arrest, and a new charge of failing to appear could be added to your case. Make sure you're appearing on that date. Looks like you already have another pending, it's a DUI case.
Yes.
All right, so Public Defender's Office is going to be appointed on this new case. Actually, you know what? Because you have that DUI case, I'm actually going to change your court date. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Put it on the same case. All right. Your next court date is going to be on May 7th, 2025 at 9 a.m. It's the same date as that DUI case. So for
Okay.
both cases, you'll have a public defender May 7th at 9 a.m. for both cases. All right,
May
sir.
7th.
Yep, you're excused. Thank you. Yeah. Gosh, I forgot. Okay. Jail, can you bring David Craig back?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sorry, there was a victim present on that case. What is your full name, please? Oh,
I'm sorry.
full name, please.
My name's Ella Horton, Horton.
Is this the no bond, no name person?
Yes.
It is?
Yes.
All right, so hold on a second, ma'am. I need to get what's your first name, please?
It's Ella.
I'm sorry, say it again.
Ella, Ella.
Say it again.
Ella, Ella.
Ella, okay. And what's your middle name?
Middle name is Shay.
How do you spell it?
S-H-E-A. S-H-E-A.
S-E-A.
Mhm.
Okay. And
Yes,
your last
ma'am.
name.
Last name is Horton. Horton.
And what is your date of birth?
9/17/06.
When you say 06, what year? 2000?
2006. Yes, ma'am.
2006?
Yep.
All right. You are charged with obstruction, failing to provide your true name, and drug paraphernalia possession. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty. I will release you. Your next court date is going to be in Justice Court on April 3rd, 2025 at 8:30 a.m. If you don't appear, a warrant will issue for your arrest. I need to let you know that you do have a constitutional right to remain silent, to appear at all future hearing dates. If you don't appear on April 3rd, two things could happen. One, a warrant could issue for your arrest, and a new charge of failing to appear could be added to your case. Make sure you can represent yourself, or you can hire an attorney to represent you in your case. Make sure you make your hearing date. You are excused. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Craig, David Craig, there's a victim on this case. She wants to be heard. Ma'am, go ahead.
Hi, this is Jennifer Craig. I'm the wife and victim of David Craig, and I just wanted to say that I would like contact with David. I would like to try and work things out. He is not a criminal. I do not believe that he has criminal intent, and my intent of involving law enforcement was not for arrest and criminal charges. I just want to feel safe at home, and I would like us to work things out. So I would like contact by phone. I'm open to contact in person, in a neutral place.
All right, Ms. Craig, I want to let you know that our Jennifer Craig, I'm not going to change my release conditions. He is still not allowed to have any contact with you or go to your residence location. He cannot call you. He cannot see you. This order can be amended with the next judge. His next hearing date is April 2nd, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. And Ms. Craig, you can call the city prosecutor's office, their victim services, and talk to them about the situation, and you can get an advocate assigned to your case to talk about that.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Craig, thank you. You're excused. Your attorney will be in touch with you, Mr. Craig.
Yes.
What is your full name, please?
Christopher DeWine Munger.
All right, Mr. Munger, looks like you have new charges of domestic violence assault, domestic violence disorderly conduct. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty. I am going to release you. You are not allowed to have any contact with Denitza. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Don't call her. Don't see her. Don't text her. Don't social media her. Do not go to where she lives. Stay away from her. Do not commit any further acts of domestic violence. Your next court date is going to be in City Court, April 22nd, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. Make sure you appear. If you do not, a warrant will issue for your arrest, and a new charge of failing to appear could appear on your case. You have a constitutional right to remain silent, and you also have a right to, have all future hearing dates. You just got to show up for court. Thank you. You're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And there was a victim on that.
Oh, shoot. Gosh, Mr. Munger, you just said something. There's a victim on this case. Is there a victim who wants to be heard?
Yes.
Go ahead. Sorry, people aren't speaking up.
Your Honor, I do appreciate that you're saying no contact, but this was an incident that happened a while ago. We're getting along. We have a child together. He takes care of his daughter, and I really don't want her to be without a father.
Okay. I am not going to change my release conditions based on the alleged probable cause in this case, but that can change. The victim, you can contact the city prosecutor's office, speak to victim services, the prosecutor about changing that condition. And Mr.
Yes.
Monger, let's see, I'll go ahead and appoint the City Public Defender's Office to represent you. So you'll have an attorney on your case. You can talk to your attorney about that situation. All right, Mr. Monger, April 22nd at 1:30, I'm releasing you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Stay in touch with your attorney.
Kepler. Your Honor, we'll waive reading on this one, please.
All right.
Thank you.
What is your full name, sir?
Richard Allen Kepler.
All right, looks like you have a new charge. I'm going to waive reading of the complaint, inner plea of not guilty. I have to let you know, Mr. Kepler, you do have a constitutional right to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney. There is an attorney who is seated next to you representing you for this evening's hearing. I'm going to hear first from the prosecutor's office regarding their bond recommendation, and then I will hear from your attorney. Mr. Poston.
Your Honor, the state has provided the written record and rests on it.
All right, defense counsel.
Your Honor, Mr. Kepler is asking the court to consider releasing him to pretrial with other conditions, such as reporting to the sheriff's office. That's because he's lived in Tucson long term and will.
Mr. Kepler, your bond set at $3,500 secured. Legal Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. April 3rd, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. is your preliminary hearing. Mr. Kepler, you also have a new misdemeanor charge for criminal trespass from today's date. I'm going to enter plea of not guilty. I will release you. Your next court date is going to be in City Court, May 16th at 9 a.m. I am going to appoint the City Public Defender's Office, and your attorney will be in touch with you soon. Thank you. What is your full name?
Brandon Michael Eugene Peasley.
All right, Jail, is this the other person that was booked under name, no name?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, sir, what is your first name, please?
Brandon
All right, and then what is your middle name?
Michael Eugene
And your last name?
Peasley. Peasley.
What's your date of birth?
12/23/92.
All right, you were charged with refusing to provide your true name and drug paraphernalia possession. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty. Mr. Peasley, I am going to allow you to be released. You must appear in court, in justice court, April 3rd at 8:30 a.m. If you don't appear, a warrant could issue for your arrest, and new charge of failing to appear in court could be added to your case. You do have a right to appeal for all future hearing dates. You have a constitutional right to remain silent. So just make sure you're making your court dates. And you are excused. Thank you.
Thank you.
What is your full name, please?
Jasmine Ashley Lozano.
All right, looks like you have a new charge of drug paraphernalia possession. I'm going to enter plea of not guilty. Need to let you know you do have a right to remain silent. You have a right to represent yourself. You could hire counsel to represent you. Looks like you have another pending case in city court for criminal trespass. Ms. Lozano, I'm going to allow you to be released, but you cannot be picking up new charges. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to set your next court date in city court to April 17, 2025 at 10 a.m. If you don't appear, two things could happen. One, a warrant could issue for your arrest, and a new charge of failing to appear could be added to your case. So just make sure you're appearing for court. You have, like I said, a right to represent yourself or hire counsel to represent you. Just got to make sure you're making all court dates. You are excused.
I do have a probation hold though, right?
Yeah, you do.
Okay, thank you.
Let them know that you're in custody. Thank you.
Is the Spanish speaker?
Yes.
What is your full name, please?
¿Cuál es su nombre completo, señor, por favor?
Arnulfo Sotelo.
What is your,
Arnulfo Sotelo.
what is your middle name?
¿Y el segundo nombre?
No tengo middle name. Arnulfo y Sotelo is my last name.
He just he didn't have one. He said Arnulfo, and then Sotelo is my surname.
Where does Victorio come from?
¿Y de dónde salió Victorio?
Oh, bueno, Arnulfo Sotelo Victorio, sí. Perdón.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. It's Arnulfo
Sí,
Sotelo Victorio.
Es el apellido de mi mamá.
That's my mother's maiden name. Her surname.
You're charged with one count of domestic violence assault, one count of domestic violence disorderly conduct.
Bueno, a usted se le impute el delito de violencia intrafamiliar por agresión y también por violencia intrafamiliar por desorden público.
I'm going to enter plea of not guilty.
Voy a registrar de su parte una declaración de no culpable.
Sir, I'm going to allow you to be released from custody.
Señor, voy a permitir que usted quede en libertad.
You must make your next hearing date in justice court on April 3rd at 10:30 a.m.
Pero usted tiene que comparecer para su próxima audiencia en el Tribunal de la Paz o Tribunal de Justicia el día 3 de abril a las 10:30 de la mañana.
If you don't appear, a warrant could issue for your arrest.
Si usted no comparece, se podría emitir orden de arresto en su contra.
Need to let you know you do have a constitutional right to remain silent in your case.
Quiero informarle que usted cuenta con el derecho constitucional de guardar silencio en su caso.
You do have a right to hire counsel on your own or to represent yourself in your case.
También tiene derecho a contratar a su propio abogado o de representarse a sí mismo en su caso.
Show up for court on April 3rd at 10:30 a.m. You're excused. Thank you.
De nuevo, por favor, preséntese el día 3 de abril en el tribunal a las 10:30 de la mañana. Gracias.
Una preguntita.
I have a question.
Me dijo que me retiraron los cargos o algo así entendí. Perdón.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. Was I told that the charges were dropped or something like that? I understood.
No, I entered a plea of not guilty. You have to appear at court, sir.
No, señor, yo registré una declaración de no culpable de su parte, pero usted tiene que comparecer para las audiencias en el tribunal, señor.
Oh, sí, ok.
Okay.
Abril 3.
You're excused.
And he's asking April 3rd?
It's on your paperwork, sir, yes.
Sí, ahí está en sus papeles, señor.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much.
Gracias mucho.
Random.
What is your full name, please?
Amanda Rose Elena Menor.
You're charged with misconduct involving a weapon, being a prohibited possessor, unlawful possession of a narcotic drug, unlawful possession of dangerous drug, unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty. Need to let you know you do have a constitutional right to remain silent to be represented by an attorney. There is an attorney who is seated next to you representing you for this evening's hearing. I'm going to hear first from the prosecutor's office regarding their bond recommendation, and then I will hear from your attorney, Mr. Poston.
Your Honor, given all the circumstances, state recommends a $3,500 bond plus release of pretrial services. This involves fentanyl, methamphetamine, as well as a loaded revolver. Screen for steps as well.
Does that mean that I put steps and there would be a steps hearing if she's going to be screened?
She can post the bond and we could screen it for steps, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. Defense counsel.
Judge, so since the state's offering steps, we are asking the court to consider releasing her to pretrial services for a variety of reasons. Looks like her last conviction is from 2013. It's a pretty old trial. The other thing, Judge, is this is simple possession quantities, and I understand there's an allegation that a gun was involved. But Ms. Manuel has lived in Tucson 10 years. She is employed. Her mother can provide third-party custody and transport. So we are asking for one chance in pretrial given the age of her marriage, Judge.
So
And we'll be able to. Oh, sorry.
if she stays in custody, does she get screened for steps or no?
I believe,
Your Honor, it's unlikely she'll qualify for steps, but I'm willing to let the court go ahead and set up the screening because of the firearm.
Okay.
Typically, if it's a straightforward drug charge, if it's sullied by a non-drug charge, it makes it difficult, if not impossible.
All right, Ms. Monroe, your bond is set at $3,000 plus release of pretrial services if you're able to post that bond. Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. You're not allowed to possess any firearms. Your first hearing is a steps hearing on March 31st at 9 a.m. Your preliminary hearing is set April 3rd at 1:30 p.m. Your attorney will be in touch with you soon. Thank you.
He's not released. So what is that?
What is your full name, please?
Ramon Medina.
You're charged with tampering with physical evidence and unlawful possession of a narcotic drug. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty. Actually, he's going to be screened for steps, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so I got to read this. Actually, do I read the actual steps on his case?
Yes, Judge.
All right, sorry. I'm gonna, Ronnie Medina, you've been arrested and accused of the crime of unlawful possession of a narcotic drug and tampering with physical evidence. I'm going to appoint Doug Taylor as your appointed counsel. You may be eligible to participate in a diversion program called STEPS that requires you to participate in a plan specific to your needs for a short time. If you choose to participate and complete the program, these felony drug accusations in your arrest report will be permanently dismissed without you ever being formally charged. And you're interested in learning more about the STEPS program at your next hearing date?
Yes.
All right. Defense counsel, I don't know if I got your recommendation.
Judge, I know he's 6 on 6 on the scale and has a bunch of errors. If you're inclined to release him, we'll be able to. We are willing to waive some time for the PH. If you're not inclined, Judge, just a moment. Thank you.
Medina, your bond set at $1,000 plus release of pretrial services. If you're able to post that bond, you must comply with any treatment directed by pretrial services. You're not allowed to drink any alcohol or take any illegal drugs if you're out of custody. Your first hearing is called a STEPS hearing on March 31st, 2025 at 9 a.m. His preliminary hearing is set to April 3rd at 1:30 p.m. You also had a misdemeanor matter for failing to identify. I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty, release you. You know you do have a constitutional right to remain silent on this case, to represent yourself or hire counsel. Your next hearing date is April 3rd at 8:30 a.m. in Justice Court, and I'll let them know that you're in custody on the felony matter. You are excused. Thank you. There's a minute entry saying it says What is your full name, please?
More.
You have been arrested and accused of the crime of unlawful possession of a dangerous drug, unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia. I'm going to appoint the Legal Defender's Office to represent you. You may be eligible to participate in a diversion program called STEPS that requires you to participate in a plan specific to your needs for a short time. If you choose to participate and complete the program, these felony drug accusations in your arrest report will be permanently dismissed without you ever being formally charged. Are you interested in learning more about the STEPS program at your next hearing date?
Yes, please. Yes, I am.
You can hold, Mr. Poston.
She does. Your Honor, at this point, the state notes that she is out on release. I'm sorry, one moment. Skipped over the... We're dealing with... I'm sorry, this is Ms. Moore.
Yes.
$1,000. We've released the steps if posted.
Defense counsel?
Judge, we just asked for a pardon.
Ms. Moore, your bond set $1,000. Your first hearing date's called a STEPS hearing on March 31st, 2025 at 9 a.m. Your preliminary hearing is set April 3rd at 1:30 p.m. Legal defenders is appointed, and you also have a probation hold on you. You're excused. Thank you. Your attorney will be in touch with you soon. What is your full name, please?
Station Murray Waterhouse.
You're charged with 1 count of domestic violence, aggravated assault involving a dangerous instrument. I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty. I need to let you know you do have a constitutional right to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney. There is an attorney who is seated next to you representing you for this evening's hearing. I'm going to hear first from the prosecutor's office, and then I'll hear from your attorney, Mr. Poston.
Your Honor, to my understanding, the defendant is alleged to have attacked her partner with a knife, causing lacerations. The state would further note that she's on pretrial release for a felony charge. It's still in the Justice Court, but it is a felony charge nonetheless. CR 25-002449FE. Therefore, the state requests no bond under Article 2, Section 22 Alpha.
Defense counsel?
Just given the state is asking for no bond hold, we ask the court to set a no bond hearing. Thank you.
Ms. Waterhouse, you're going to be held without bond. Your first hearing is a no bond hearing, March 28th, 2025 at 2:30 p.m. Your preliminary hearing is set April 3rd at 1:30 p.m. You are not allowed to have any contact with the victim involved in this case. Do not possess any firearms or weapons. Your attorney from the Public Defender's Office will be in touch with you. You are excused. Thank you. All right, everyone's excused this evening. Thank you.
Good day, Your Honor.